you stop and take a little time out with me? Just take 5.
Right. So, Boston up 2-0 on the Indiana Pacers. I believe we haven't talked about both games, if I'm not mistaken. So, we got to get into it just a little bit here. Right. So, last game they got pretty much defeated. The Indiana Pacers they got pretty much defeated. We know in that first game it was close down to the wire. They folded, choked, if you will, choked the game away in overtime. Jaylen Brown, Hall of Fame player, gave us 40. The other day. I'm gonna just keep it. But are the Pacers cooked? Are they done?
Yeah. It's over.
Wow.
Especially with like Halliburton, his injuries kind of coming back, nagging him. Like, it's over.
If Halliburton doesn't play, they're going to get blown out probably in Game 3.
In 4.
We can't expect T.J. McConnell to give us a Hall of Fame night. We can't expect that from him. He is a good player though, but we can't expect him to carry them to a victory over the Celtics, especially when they smell blood in the water. So,
no, I mean they stole that game away, Game 1. So it's after that, like you're free rolling. Like the Pacers, they needed to come out and win that game, which they were very close to. The way that they handled the last few possessions in regulation, like you probably could have did some different things or just fouled. You could just take a foul.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah. After that, it already felt like it was over.
Typically, Julian, you will succumb and fall to greatness. You will. You might give greatness, a night, 2, something like that. But eventually, the truth will come to light. Jaylen Brown is that guy. We call him Batman around here. We call him the Arkham Knight. You know what I'm saying? That's what we call him. You know what I'm saying? The boy that defeated Bane, the Joker now. That's what we call him. All right? He's like that. And he's showing that in this series. I mean, he's playing a Pacers team with no real defensive matchup against him. I mean, like if you see that guy in front of you right there, you see him on the slide. If you see that in front of you, see how he's putting that shoulder into him already? Barbecue chicken, collard greens, yams, steak. That's what that is right there. Jaylen Brown, he's doing it to him. Miles, you out? All right.
Shortly.
All right. But that's what he does to him. Tatum's been great as well. Second half of that game 1, of course. He's been great. Al Horford, he's been putting in work. Looks like a young man out there.
He does.
It's definitely clipped. But for the sake of debate, for the sake of the talk show, what can the Pacers, what can they do? What can they, switch around in order to get some victories at home?
I mean,
it's still a question.
There might not be any more pages. I'm sorry.
My only thing is like, if he's healthy, I think they do have a shot in this next game. Like with his health in question, it's hard to make a prediction. But if we saw a healthy Halliburton come out, like the Pacers will be hard to beat at home. They're one of the best home teams in the NBA. And the Celtics are like liable to give a game away, not come out hard. That happens, especially with this team. So what I'm hoping for, I hope Halliburton's healthy and the Pacers come out and play very well in Game 3 and take it. And then, like, obviously we would have something more exciting on our hands. Maybe they can take a Game 4. I don't think they'll win the series, like, because you got to win 4 out of 5. That's not happening. But I do want to see them take at least one of these games at home and make the Celtics have to close them out. But if they lose this one, it's good.
To Julian's point, right? And I'm playing devil's advocate because none of us believe that the Pacers actually will defeat them in the series. And if they do, that would be a great laugh. One of those laughs that you haven't had in a long, long time. That would be very, very funny stuff. I'd be dead. But the Pacers, they're a different team at home, right? crowd. They're gonna rally behind them. They're the same crowd that was chanting "We want Boston" and all that. So they're definitely gonna propel their team as much as they can. Talking about the fans. This Halliburton thing, however, we have to give it to him, right? That hamstring, that's a nagging injury. And if it's not fully healed and properly healed, that definitely can nag you, throughout high levels of play like this. So hoping he's all right, because I personally don't like the excuses that we can make after, such thing. Like they weren't going to win this series regardless. But I'm hoping that he's healthy, gets to show us what he's made of, especially at home. And we will see. But what I will tell you guys is, even if he does not play, the Pacers still have a squad. Like we talked about TJ McConnell not being like that. He's all right. Like he can give you a bucket if need be, right?
He's a good player, but they lose a lot. They're going to lose a lot if they have no Halliburton.
I don't agree, especially if they're at home. Like they're gonna up that pace. They're gonna run up and down. Pascal Siakam, he's shown that there's really no matchup out there. If you don't have Porzingis, I mean, there's really no matchup out there that's gonna bother him that much. He's gonna be ready to play. They're just gonna be playing up and down, Julian, moving the ball around. That's what they play
up and down. They play up and down much better when Halliburton's playing.
I mean, Halliburton's a better passer than anyone else on that team for sure. But all I'm saying is that ball's gonna move a lot more without him, coming off ball screens, what have you. It's gonna move a lot more.
I don't agree. I think that he gets the whole team involved. He runs that team. He runs the show of that team. I feel like we're not giving him enough credit for what they're going to lose. Like, yes, TJ McConnell can come in and play well. He absolutely can. They're going to lose something with Halliburton out, especially in terms of like his passing ability. They're going to lose a lot.
That's just the obvious fact of the matter. But I'm telling you what they could possibly gain from not having their point guard out there. They're not going to be a better team. I'm just saying that they'll be able to compete, though. They're going to run up and down, and it's going to be a much harder guard for the Celtics, not having to pinpoint a guy like Halliburton on the other end. Like, it's just the fact of the matter. You never know who's going to step up with that team. They've shown that to us, and that's my take.
What time is the game today? Is it a daytime game?
Nah, 8:30.
8:30. But yeah, should be interesting in this game here. I'm gonna go with the Pacers, regardless of who they have. I think they'll be motivated with that crowd. So see what they can do.